The NFL draft is in the rearview mirror,
Ah,
but we're not done talking about the draft, Ari, because I had a lot of questions over the weekend that I wanted to ask you, but there never really was the perfect time to get to them.
all right.
I think they're very important. I just wanted to have a moment to talk to them about you or talk you with about this. Is this something that you'd be willing to do real quick with me?
I have no idea what's to come right now, but let's do it. Let's see
Okay.
what you got, Ben. And
Okay.
by the way, people who don't know, I mean, Ben with his random questions, it really could go anywhere. So I have no idea what to
Yes,
expect.
yes. But I just want to go ahead and preface this by saying it's very serious questions, which is why I wanted to start off with one of the teams that had one of the more unique drafts this year. That was the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
They obviously took two quarterbacks. They traded away their pick that would become Travis Hunter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, with all that being said, I just wanted to ask you first off, which quarterback will the Browns be taking in the 2026 NFL draft?
Wow, we're just jumping straight there. Wow. Well, the fact that they have two first round picks makes it a legitimate thing, but let's see what Shador Sanders has. Let's see what Dylan Gabriel has. I'm not going to go to 2026 yet. And for people who think Arch Manning will be in next year's class, I would be shocked if he actually goes into the NFL last year. I think he wants to use the eligibility. So I'm gonna pass on that one. I'm not sure.
Okay, we're 0 for 1. All
Oh
right,
for
next
one.
question. Shador Sanders had one of the most extravagant draft setups I think we've ever seen. I know you're super connected to a lot of people. I was curious, do you have the Facebook Marketplace listing for all of the leftover pieces that may not necessarily get used anywhere else throughout his life?
No, I do not.
Okay.
That's the answer.
No, okay, great. If you don't mind checking in with me on that, that would be appreciated. Third, it's also another Sanders question. This time it's about Shiloh, though. Do you have any way of helping me get on a live stream with him?
What do they use? I mean, which is it? Twitch? Is
I
that what it
believe he
is?
is a big Twitch guy.
Got
I've
it.
personally never been on Twitch before, which is why I would like the opportunity to promote the show on there. And I was just curious if you
Got
could
it.
help me with that at all.
So I've never used Twitch before either, but I would imagine there's a way of, I don't know, is it requesting to get on? Like I've seen videos of, is that possible? I think we could do something like that. No,
I think this
or
is
or,
something that
or are we just clueless?
I think we should examine this more. We'll put that one on
Got
the
it.
back burner for now. One of the teammates
He does
of
have he does have a new agent, by the way. Drew Rosenhaus now represents him, so I could just reach
This is
out to
true.
him.
This
Yeah.
is true. Your best
Yes.
friend Drew Rosenhaus, as I'm sure we're all aware. Let's go on to there's just a smirk for that one. Okay, that's fine. Now we're gonna go out to the Jacksonville Jaguars, talking about one of the players we just mentioned, former Colorado teammate of Shiloh and Shador, Travis Hunter. He's obviously been playing both sides of the ball with quarterback as or not as quarterback, but with wide receiver as well as cornerback. My question was, do you think he can also play quarterback for the team? Is that something that would be available that maybe he could mentor Trevor Lawrence as well until he actually is able to get the ball to his receivers?
No, I don't. But if you want a player in this draft who could, Tyler Warren did it at Penn State.
I like that one. You think are
Lined
they
up.
going to work him in Indianapolis into any of those kind of plays? Is he
He lined
first
up.
off, is he more accurate than Anthony Richardson?
No.
Okay, then it may not be much of an upgrade. Great. Sticking with the Jaguars, I was curious because we've talked a lot about James Gladstone, the new GM there. Do you think that he gained a lot of his trade skills from Madden? And what level of difficulty do you think he plays on?
I would say he probably plays on Hall of Fame, no?
Hall of
I
Fame
feel like he's
level?
I feel like he plays on the toughest one.
Yeah.
But I do think he learned it from Leslie though.
Do you think that that trade would have been I haven't maybe someone's run it. Do you think that trade would have been accepted in Madden? I know the new version's not out yet, but
Hmm.
if you were to like stack it up.
I think it would. I think it would pass. I think it would work.
Okay.
As somebody who used to play Madden a lot, I think it would have worked.
I like it. Okay. All right. Are you
Because
surprised that the Falcons
Madden does not take into account who the player is. They
That's
just look at
true.
the value. Yeah.
That's true. Okay. Let's talk more with the Atlanta Falcons. They obviously took two edge rushers in the first round, neither of which are considered a slam dunk necessarily, as Jalen Walker is still a little bit learning the position of being an edge rusher, and James Pierce has reportedly some motor issues. Are you surprised that they didn't take a third first round edge rusher just to try to see if they could add to the chaos of what's going to be the pass rush this year?
Well, the one thing I have learned with Terry Fontenot, their GM, is just be ready for anything. So when Mike Green was actually slipping as far as he did, I actually did not rule out him trading back into the second round and getting him. So
That's where I was getting at.
as crazy as it might sound, like while the slip was 40s, 50s, 52, wherever it ended up going, I was like, yo, I think Terry might just trade and get him as well. So I actually thought that had a shot.
Okay, that was actually where my head was at because I had a feeling I was like, why didn't they just go for Mike Green? Just go for the trifecta of like somewhat issues that they could have there on the edge. But damn, do they not have I mean, they got some high potential there. They could be getting double-digit sacks out of all those guys.
I thought it was a real possibility, but I guess you can't have too many of those different type of people there. But
Yeah.
hey, James Pierce and Jalen Walker, it's a good duo. I just don't like the package they gave up.
Yeah, true, fair. All right, let's stick in the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints are very much trying to figure out what their quarterback situation is with the injury that is Derek Carr. They ended up drafting a rookie quarterback in Tyler Shuck. I was surprised they went with Shuck. Are you surprised that they didn't go with a guy with more experience, a little bit older?
I was thinking about Brandon Whedon for a second if they'll try to bring him off the couch. But yeah, if you guys remember, Brandon Whedon was a 28-year-old first round rookie quarterback back in 2012, drafted by the Browns. So for all you making fun of a 25-year-old being picked at pick number 40, good thing Twitter wasn't that big back then. So hey, Tyler Shuck is going to start games this year in New Orleans.
There you go. All right, let's move out to Detroit with one of the more surprising picks. And I got to say, this is one I've seen on social media, and I think is an important question to ask you. Do you think Isaac Tesla is going to be asked to change his last name to Ford? Because I do think that would be important for the team.
Yeah, I've seen that one as well. I've not seen any videos yet of Isaac Tesla meeting the owner, Sheila Ford Hamp. But whenever that does happen, I do wonder if that question comes up. And by the way, if you go back to watch some of the Lions videos back in the day when they drafted Jack Campbell, last names were brought up because Dan Campbell told Jack Campbell, "Hey, Jack, great to have you on the team. I love your last name." So they've had conversations about last names with their prospects in the past. So maybe that conversation will come up in Detroit.
I love I can bring up a dumb question and you have some weird backstory to connect it all together.
People
Unless
don't know. I have not seen any of these questions yet, so I'm just all off memory right now. Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question that's certainly going to piss off some of our New York fans. Do
Oh no.
you think the Giants, they have the fourth most fumbles since 2016? Do you think that they targeted Cam Scatterbo to try to get those numbers up?
I don't. I don't think they did that, but I do think the Giants went after every possible aggressive monster and like type of player in this draft, which is what they did with the Abdul Carters and of course the defensive tackle out of Toledo, Alexander, and then of course Scadaboo as well. They went after these tough, rugged nose guys out there in the draft, and Scadaboo's another one. And I think that was more their philosophy, not the fumble.
They just want to see if they can test their quarterbacks to see how well they are at picking the ball up off the ground.
I
Uh,
think the fumbles, by the way, all trace back to Daniel Jones, by the way, who's no longer there.
There you go. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they got there this year. And finally, we're on question number 10. This one's more personal for me. Do you
Oh no.
think I'm ever going to find anyone in life that cares as much about me as Mel Kiper does about Shador Sanders?
Hmm. I care about you.
But as much as Mel Kiper cares about Shador Sanders, it's a lot.
It is a lot. Kind of reminds me of Jimmy Clausen back in the day with Malkai. Remember that one?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What was it?
Yeah.
He said he would retire if Jimmy Clausen like never made the Pro Bowl or something.
Something like that. Yeah. And of course, Jimmy Clausen did not last that long in the NFL. Yeah, I'm not
Carolina
sure.
Panthers legend.
Panthers legend who also did not want to give up his number to Cam Newton. Remember that one? Fun
That's
fact.
right. And that was the
Yes.
year after he was selected, right? When they took him.
Yes. Yes. Cam wanted number 2 and he like no. And Cam was like, okay, I'll take number 1, which looks much better on him.
It does. It does. Superman can't be number 2.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Well,
it all
I'm
worked out.
I'm glad that you were able to answer some of these things that have been on my chest for the last few days. It means a lot to me. I'm hoping that this is something that we can make on a regular occasion where I really get things that have been eating me alive off my chest and out to the ether and see what you're able to do and make connections to things that quite frankly, should not have the ability to be connected to off a normal person's mind.
Yep. That's what I do. It's I have a lot of random knowledge inside my brain from covering this league for now over 10 years, which makes me sound old. I don't like that. But
Little old.
yeah, a little old. But yeah, I try to answer those to the best of my ability, all those apparently very, very serious questions. So maybe we'll do it again, maybe we won't. And this was completely off the cuff. I was not ready for it. So kudos to you, Ben.
Hit subscribe.